What's up guys, Tevy here, back again with another episode of Let's Play Let's Go Pikachu. So, in today's video, I'm just mostly doing casual commentary over my Master Trainers walkthrough when I was going through everyone on my team. So to start off, we're starting off with Arbok. First time I did this, I did it literally on my first try when I was just trying to get a feel of how they're going to be. And then when I started over, so I can actually start recording it, I went ahead and did this again. It took me 15 more attempts before I actually got the win again. So the main difference with Master Trainers compared to regular trainers, they specialize in only one type of Pokemon, and their stats for that Pokemon is literally like off the charts. So having like a type effective move against them doesn't necessarily do a lot of damage. Like right here, as you see just now, I used Earthquake on this Arbok. It barely did anything, and I'm roughly like a little bit levels higher than he is. So their Pokemon really does exceed, like, their, how would be a better way of saying this? Their Pokemon are, like, bred specifically to survive type effective moves. As well as that, you also have to take into account, like, strategies using this too. Like, what he's doing, he's trying to use Glare on me to get me paralyzed, and then use Facade, which does double damage when your opponent is paralyzed, poison, has like a status effect on it, does more damage on it. So you have to like think a lot more carefully of how you want to do the two. And of course, it's a one-on-one bout with those two Pokemon, and you can't use items or anything like that. You can run away if you want to in case like it gets too tough. So all these attempts I'm showing you guys right now, these are my perfect attempts of me doing it. Except for Executor, all these guys took multiple attempts for me to do. And it also took a fair amount of luck too in order for me to get on it too. So thankfully, they didn't take that much time. They weren't overly difficult in terms of like, I took like hours to do it. At the very most, I would say the longest one took me like 30 minutes to do, and that one's gonna be Gengar. Mostly because he's the strongest Master Trainer there is, or he has the strongest Master Trainer there is, so I had to do multiple attempts to do that. I had to switch up my moveset on him in order to compensate for like the type of edges that he was doing against me. Let's see, Wigglytuff. How many times did that one take me? I think that was like, I want to say it probably took me like 10 times for me to actually beat this Wigglytuff trainer. What? I know. In fact, now that I'm like going back over, I don't even remember like the type of moveset she used on me. So I guess we'll both get to find out again. Because I know Gengar was trickiest. Freaking the Doug Trio one was annoying. I don't have that many bad memories of the Wigglytuff one. I know I had to switch out one of my Fairy-type moves with Poison on it because that was just going to help me do damage over time. In fact, no. I think a lot of my Pokemon, I literally had to put Toxic on it just so I can do damage over time. So they can just keep doing damage over time, so I wouldn't have to draw the battle that long in case like they caught me of where I was either stunned, stunned, paralyzed, or asleep. Stunned and paralyzed are the exact same thing happened. Oh, I don't. No, they did put me to sleep, but that was like only one time out of like the 10 times that I took the fight against her. Other than that, what else happened for the Wigglytuff one is really like blanking me out right now. I don't remember everything else like that kept me having to do this over and over again. There's nothing else coming to mind. All I know of Restore is Doug Trio, Gengar, and Lapras. Those were the tough ones out of all this. Oh, I'm getting hungry. I need to eat lunch soon. Other than that, I think like while I was sleeping, Poison was doing most of the work, and I'm glad I got that off before she put me to sleep. That way I could do damage over time. I was just waiting until we finally woke up so I could actually hurt her again physically and end this a lot sooner. Because this is actually a very lucky attempt, because whenever they would hit me with their moves, like they did like either half or more than half damage on me, and that was annoying because whenever I went to go attack them, I did barely anything. So Poison was a really good blessing on this one because it helped me knock out most of her health while I was stuck asleep the whole time. And of course, you can always refight them again once it's over anyway, too. Alright, Dugtrio Master Trainer. This guy's a jerk. So, the trickiest part against the Dugtrio Master Trainer is he will use Substitute so he can avoid getting any damage put on him, and then he literally just goes to spamming one-hit moves in Fisher. And that honestly is what killed me every single time. So at some point I just said, I need to put Toxic on it so I can do damage over time while he tries to do Substitute. So it will still damage him even when he's in that state, or if it doesn't, it will get rid of the Substitute right away. And honestly, luck played a big factor in me getting the win on this one, because I needed to not only keep him from using Fisher, I needed to miss, I needed to like hopefully have my Dugtrio avoid it, or at the very least, I need to survive it with like 1 HP and keep it from one-hit KOing me. So yeah, whatever he did, the Substitute, I needed to quickly do Earthquake to get rid of it, and then the Poison over time helped with keeping him down, so in case I needed to like survive with like 1 sliver of damage, I needed something that would just finish him off in case he outspent me. I got very lucky because he did Sand Attack. I don't even know why he has Sand Attack on this Dugtrio. That's like the most useless move you could have on, because they didn't play any effectiveness at all. If anything, it gave me a free turn, get a free hit in before I didn't get knocked out. So with that, yeah, I got down to the very end. I was thinking, alright, this is good, I want to win. And then he goes for Fisher and hits it. And I'm like, oh god. Now I lost, now I need to do it again. But Dugtrio hung on with 1 HP, and I was like salivating, so happy that he survived for me. And then I go for an Earthquake and just knocked him out. If the Earthquake didn't knock him out, the Poison would definitely finish him off, so that was fortunate. That one took me like, I think 8 or 9 tries. Also, Master Trainers wear red outfits. I don't know why, but they just like to wear red. So yeah, I got very lucky with that one, so I'm glad that I was able to get the Dugtrio Master title. And as we move on to the next one, I was like, Lapras? Yeah, Lapras. So my Lapras is actually pretty decent on stats, so that's why this one didn't take that long. I think this one honestly took me like 4 or 5 attempts of me recalling how to do this one. Because I am able to put type effective moves against this Lapras on, so I had to put Thunderbolt on in order to do some damage on it as well. I don't think I ended up putting Toxic on. I might have. We'll find out together, because I think I put Toxic on my Lapras in order to do damage over time as well. I definitely know I put Thunderbolt on him. Okay, yeah, I did end up putting Toxic on here so I can do damage over time. And I think her thing was she wanted to constantly keep me confused too, so I couldn't get off attacks and end up hurting myself while she kept doing damage to me. But thankfully, I got it that first time, so I didn't have to worry about having to put on Toxic again, so I can actually keep doing damage on her. And after that, I think I just switched over to doing Thunderbolt the whole time to get like a super effective on it. But at the same time, it didn't really do that much damage against her anyway. But I was surprised that Lapras could learn Solar Beam, so that was honestly disheartening when I saw that. I was like, oh, I need to hurry up and like knock her out so we don't keep getting spammed like Solar Beam. But at the same time, you saw that Thunderbolt, it was super effective, it barely did anything. So this whole time, I'm heavily relying on my Poison to do most of the damage while I'm just spamming Thunderbolt. I'm just spamming Thunderbolt to do a little bit of damage over time on it. And even with the solid stats of my Lapras, it took more than half of my health away from me. Thankfully, the confusion didn't play that big of a role in this, otherwise this could have gone a whole lot differently. And the Poison is slowly getting stronger and stronger each turn that it's going through, so this is what's really doing the bulk of my damage on me. And the Solar Beam, she keeps doing Solar Beam, but that just gives me 1 free turn to attack while I try to like nudge in there. So at the same time, if I don't get confused and I keep hurting myself like this, it's just 1 less turn for me to do, so this one barely evens it out. So at this point, I'm just hoping that with this move, I can just survive with 1 HP of damage, which I think I end up doing on this one, because that's how I end up getting most of my wins on all this. Like, my Pokemon love me and they survive with like just one bit of damage left on, one bit of HP left on, so I can survive and get like one more turn. Luckily I snapped out Confusion on this, otherwise if I got hit by that I would have knocked myself out. And this one barely gets her down, but at the same time I do have that poison still on me, so that's what came into the clutch. Both having poison put on, me snapping out of Confusion, and then Lapras living with 1 HP. All those three things culminated into me getting the win on this one, and that was fortunately very lucky on my part. And that's how, honestly, that's how you mostly win these. Like, luck plays a huge factor in it. Otherwise, like, over-leveling, being very nitpicky with your stats on each Pokemon, and thinking about your moves and everything, those all play a big part in these. So, the Executor Ultimate Trainer, this one I actually did on my first try on camera, because this one wasn't that hard at all. Just like what I did with Lapras, I ended up putting Toxic on this one too, just so I can do the damage over time, and it's super effective against grass types, so I didn't have to worry about that. And I think I also switched out a few of its moves to be like poison type base, just so I can really get that super effective nature going onto it. So let's see. I don't know why it took me so long to actually fight. So yeah, I put Toxic and Sludge Ball on here so I can do damage over time, and hopefully get that type effective against it. And otherwise, the Executor one, there's nothing really noteworthy about that one I can really say. She ends up putting me to sleep. It didn't really matter that much because I had that super effective poison or toxic going on to it, so I can do damage over time on it as well. I'm getting so tired of speaking, my voice is getting all rough from doing it. So I think like the whole time I was hoping he would just wake up early. She would like wake up earlier so I can just keep spamming Sludge Bomb. But she didn't. I think she spent most of the match asleep, so that wasn't that bad. Thankfully, she was using Hyper Beam, so just like with Lapras, I got that one free turn in of where I can just keep wailing on her in case like I needed it to come at the very end, the clutch. I don't think it really ended up being that big of a factor though. Mostly because she kept missing, or if she did hit it on me, I kept avoiding it, so that was the lucky part of this too. Just me having to avoid it the whole time. Even while I was sleeping, that was the most surprising thing. I can avoid all these things while I was still asleep too. So Sludge Bomb, that did more damage than I thought it would be. But then again, I do have good special attack on this one, so that did do a lot of damage on it. Hyper Beam didn't do that much damage on me if I remember. Nope, never mind. It did a crap ton of damage. I don't know why I don't remember that one. Probably because like I was just worried about the poison taking effect, and because at the very end it was a Hyper Beam, so she needed one turn to rest, so she couldn't do anything on me with the Sludge Bomb poison combo. So at the very end it's like, alright, I lucked out on that one and didn't have to record this multiple times because she just went down very easily. And that one gave me my 5 out of 6 wins, and now all that was left was Gengar, who was by far the most annoying, because I had to keep rethinking of strategies in order for me to actually beat his Gengar with mine, because his is level 80. He's the strongest Master Trainer there is, with level 80 being his Pokemon level, everyone else is in their 70s. And at that point I had to really switch up a lot of the moves on my Gengar. I had to go back to the Pokemon League and talk to the lady that helps you like relearn moves. And I had to put back Hypnosis on here as well as teach it Dream Eater. And I also put on Disable. So I always start by going for Disable because I knew he was going to use Hypnosis. So I was hoping I would get lucky and avoid it, use Disable, keep him from putting me to sleep, and then on my next turn I would use Hypnosis and do his whole thing on me as well. So this all stemmed in me taking out his Disable so I can stay awake, me putting on my Hypnosis, and then me using Dream Eater to keep hitting him. But at the same time, with me doing that, he uses Thunderbolt instead, and that does a lot of damage on me for some reason. So it's like, I need to keep in mind to, once he's asleep, try to predict as best I can, like when he's going to wake up so I can reuse Hypnosis, or if he is unable to use Hypnosis again because Disable runs off, I need to use that again quickly, and while he's asleep, I just need to keep recovering my HP, so in case he does use Thunderbolt again, I'll be able to take the hit this time, because my health will be at a certain point to where I won't be knocked out. And like all these together, this one took the most amount of attempts in order for me to do, because this Master Trainer was just annoying. It was a lot stronger than I thought he was going to be. And like, while I was doing this, I was like rethinking, like, why did I choose Gengar now all the time since I had to do this? But unfortunately, like, when he woke up, I did have enough HP so I can take the hit, but he was no longer asleep. And then that's right when Hypnosis wore off, and I was like, dang, he's going to wake up again. I was quickly going back and use Hypnosis, kind of just said forget about using Disabled, because if he misses, then I can quickly get in again. Luckily, he went for Thunderbolt again, so I was like, thankfully I avoided putting him back to sleep. I just go straight back to eating his dreams so I can recover my health. And if I could just keep this up for like 3 or 4 more turns, I can knock him out if I got lucky enough. I think I barely did in this case, because I think he woke up like on his second turn of being asleep. I'm thinking that's what he did. I don't quite remember now. Hopefully he does. Yeah, he does stay asleep again for a second turn. So I think on the third time he woke up. And at that point it's like, alright, if he does wake up, I'll be fine. I can just go for Psychic and knock him out instead. And then I can just move on from there and get the very last win in order for me to challenge Red now, since I had 6 wins against these Master Trainers. So, yeah, thankfully, yep, he did stay asleep still. And at that point, just go for Psychic, knock him out, got my very last win. And I was like, yes, thank you. Everything worked out in the end, because I got very lucky. So, with that, that's all 6 Master Trainers I needed for my team in order to fight against Red. I did do the other ones I wanted to do later on off screen if I had to. But anyway, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. So thank you for watching me do the Master Trainers for my team, and I'll see you guys next time. So take care, everyone.